Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Christina if you're new here. If you're not, welcome back. But in today's video I thought we'd do one video that I've done previously on my channel and I really enjoyed doing it. We have dice chooses pages I read for a week. So how this works is these are dices from like Pokemon, I think it's an ETB, but I have these dices. I've purposely chosen the dice that has the lowest numbers on and the highest numbers on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll them and then add the numbers together, and whatever number we get is how many pages we have to read. So the lowest we can get is, I think, is 140 pages. Yeah, because there's 130 on here and there's obviously 10 on here. So the lowest we can get is 140 pages and then the highest we can get is 240 pages. So there's like a 100-page difference between the lowest and the highest. Let's roll these dice and let's see what we end up with. I'm going to start off, we're going to roll the dice and then I'm going to try and pick something to read because I'm not currently reading anything. I have got an audiobook going, so I will be using any audiobook pages as well as pages that I read in the number total each day. So let's roll the dice. I am starting this late, so I'm hoping we get a low number because I'm meant to go to bed in like the next hour and a half. So let's see what we get. So we got 10 and 140, so we need to read 150 pages today, which, I mean, it's doable in the next hour and a half as long as I choose a book that I think I'm going to find really easy to get into. So I think we'll start off with a romance book because I think that's going to be the easiest for me to sink my teeth into and get into. So let's choose a book. So I thought I'd bring you down here. So because I do have a stack of books that are on my radar right now, but I also do have my TBR, and we are halfway through June and I have read, I think, 2 books on my TBR for the month. So maybe we could choose some TBR books. So let's start off with the books that are on my TBR for the month. We have When in Rome by Sarah Adams, which I really do want to get to, and it is a romance and I do think it won't take me too long to read, and it's only 305 pages, so we would get halfway through it, pretty much halfway through it tonight. And then we could do Story of My Life by Lucy Score. I haven't read one of her books in quite a few years, but when I used to read them they were very bingeable. So we could do one of these and get 150 pages into this. We could, I don't think these two are going to be an option because just for right now, because I do not think we are going to get 150 pages into a fantasy book in an hour and a half. We have The Tales of a Kana Fortune by Hafsa A. Jorwood, which I'm very excited to read. This is an indie fantasy and it sounds so good, but I don't think this is going to be one that we can pick up as our first book in this video. And this book I don't think we're picking up in this video point blank, but this is the first book in the Legacy series by Miss K. Roderick. This is Reign of Shadows and Endings, and I really wanted to get to this month. I don't think I am going to, but trying to read 150 pages of this is probably going to take me a couple of hours, so that's not going to be an option. But the other option that I think I actually might go for this is the Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. This is actually the special edition because I bought this at Fiction Fest and she did this exclusive edition with these gorgeous sprayed edges. The synopsis isn't on the back of this book, but I did remember reading it and really enjoying it, and obviously it is personalised signed to me, and I really want to read this, and I think this will be a really nice one that I can pick up and get into. It would mean I get 19 chapters in if I read this, so it does seem that chapters are quite short, which is nice. And there is a playlist, so this could be our option. They're the ones on the TBR that could be options. The other options that I do have though, we could do Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. I've been putting this book off, I don't know why. I really enjoyed the Chestnut Spring series and the Rosehill Ranch series by her, but I'm just a bit apprehensive. I've not heard many things about this book, which I don't know whether maybe people just haven't read it yet or people haven't really enjoyed it, so they're not really spoken about it much. But we could do Fever Dream. And then my final option that I'm thinking about is Taurus Season by Brynne Weaver. This is the first book in a trilogy called the Seasons of Carnage trilogy, but I really enjoyed the Butcher and Blackbird trilogy by her, which is the Ruinous Love trilogy, if you didn't know. I really enjoyed them, and this is her new trilogy that she's writing, so similar vibe. But I think out of all of those options right now, I think I kind of want to do The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. Okay, so I have a bit of a reading update on The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. So last night I ended up getting to page 153, which is chapter 19, and obviously we needed to get 150 pages in yesterday. I am really enjoying our characters, Isabella and Ryan, and I'm enjoying the hockey team's dynamic and Isabella's friends and the way it is. They've just hooked up for the first time, which obviously from reading the back we know that she wants a rebound, but she's off the meds because he is her brother's best friend and they play on the same hockey team. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm really intrigued to see how we keep going with it. I think it's 372 pages, so we have 220 pages left, so maybe we'll get 220 and we won't have to read anything else. But let's roll the dice and see how many pages we're gonna have to read today. Okay, this is not bad. So we got 170 and 30, so we need to read 200 pages today, which basically means I'm going to end up finishing this book because I'm not going to leave it with 20 pages left. So that sounds really fun. And up my street, so if I was to just read the 200 pages, we'd be on page 353, which is here. So I definitely will be reading the last like 20 pages that we will have after reading our page count, because I'm not going to leave 20 pages left of a book. But yeah, I'm very excited to continue. I'm enjoying it. I think it's a really nice, easy ice hockey romance kind of read. While I was checking the synopsis of this yesterday, I did see some of the reviews. I saw a lot of people say that this is 30% plot, 70% spice. So far we've only had like one spice chapter and we're 153 pages in and there's only been one spice chapter, so I don't agree with that so far. But anyway, I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna read some more, and then I'm gonna go to work, and then hopefully tonight we can finish off with our 200 pages and finish the first book in this video in 2 days, which honestly, with the dice numbers being at like the lowest being as high as it is, doesn't surprise me, because I chose a book that was shorter to start off this video and get me into the swing of it. But I don't know what we're going to read next. I guess I'm going to start thinking about what I want to pick up next as well. Okay, so last night I did end up finishing The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves, and it's all done and I did my pages, but it is now 4 o'clock and I've had a very, very busy day, because if you saw my last video you would have seen that it was launch day today. So we're going to roll our dice, we're going to see what page count we get. Hopefully it's a lower number, because I do want to start a fantasy book, so it takes me a little bit longer to read. It's like already 4 PM, so let's roll the dice. Okay, we got 180, so like I said, I kind of want to do a fantasy book next, because that's kind of what I'm feeling, and I'm between a couple of options. Okay, these are the current fantasies that I really, really want to read. So we have Air of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. This is like Trials YA, and I think it will be very easy for me to get. How far is 180? It will be basically 20 chapters in, so that would be a good one to start. Or I really want to do To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. I just read The Ballad of Fallen Dragons not that long ago, so I do really want to pick this up. Again, the font's quite big, so that would be nice. That would take me to, once again, chapter 20. Or my other option is, I kind of want to read this. This is The Tales of a Carn of Fortune, and this is on my TBR for the month. So 180 pages of this, the font is slightly smaller, would get me to chapter 16. So I think, based on font size, I'm gonna go with one of the hardcover options, because the font is so much bigger in both of them, and I'm in the mood for a YA. So this is Air of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. I don't know too much, but this is the Fairy edition. This was in June's box last year, so I do really need to get to it somewhat soon. So it is a gorgeous edition. Like, look how pretty it is. On the quote on the back it says, "I'm the girl who wove the storm that shook the world. I'm coming for my crown." I think let's go ahead and let's start Air of Storms by Lemon Hamilton Murray. And today we need to read 180 pages, which will take me to chapter 20. Let's go. It's now significantly later. I have been listening to the audiobook of this because I've just been getting some stuff done, and I thought trying to get into it with the audiobook would be fun. I'm now on page 121, so we are just starting to get into the plot of this book. So if you don't know what this book about, this is the synopsis. It says, when Blaze came into the world, she almost drowned it. Blaze, a rain singer, is born into one of the most powerful fire-wielding families in the Empire. Her birth summoned a devastating storm that resulted in the deaths of thousands, and she has spent her life as an outsider, revealed and feared. When Blaze and her twin brother Flint are selected to compete in the Choosing Right, the trials which decide the future rulers of the Empire, she is suddenly thrust into the limelight and into battle. Threats abound at the Golden Palace, where intrigue and romance await with not one but two handsome suitors, the enchanting crown prince and the dangerously alluring newcomer at court. As her powers strengthen and her fellow competitors fall, the throne is suddenly within her grasp. But in order to take the crown, she'll have to leave behind the stories that others have told about her and find the courage to write her own. So it's basically like trials, her finding herself after growing up, being hidden because when she was born this storm happened. So I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying the characters, but I'm on chapter 13, which is page 121, so I need to do another 7 chapters tonight, which I think is so doable. I am really enjoying the audiobook, so I'm probably going to keep listening to the audiobook for a bit and then read before bed to get the 180 pages done. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, and this is a YA fantasy, so it's very easy. I don't think it doesn't feel super complex. I feel like it's quite easy to understand, so we could end up probably maybe finishing this tomorrow or finishing this on the final day of this little reading thing. But yeah, I think I don't know why I love something telling me that I need to read a certain amount of pages a day. It just keeps me motivated to read, and have dice choose it means that I'm not like choosing it. It makes it a bit more fun. So it's obviously now the next day, and it is 9 PM and I have still not rolled the dice. I have read some, so I'm hoping I don't have too much more to read, although I have only read, I think, 90 pages, so we're still gonna have to read quite a bit, but hopefully it's not too much. Let's roll the dice, let's see what numbers we get and go from there. Our dice roll is 180 and 30, so we need to do 210 pages. Like I said, I've done, I think, bang on 90 pages. I need to do 210 pages. So 184 is 100, 384, that's 200. So I need to get to at least 394, which will mean we'll get to chapter 44, which is page 397, and then we'll only have like maybe 40 pages left. But we basically need to get so close to finishing the book off. I'm going to get the audiobook on and hope that I can get somewhat close to this page count. If not, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add 100 onto whatever page dice rolls I get tomorrow. So then, for instance, if I got, like today I got 210, I'll have to do 310 tomorrow. But I'm hoping, I do think maybe I'll get somewhat close, but I don't think I will get to page 397 tonight. Okay, it is the final day of the challenge, and have I not learned anything from the previous 4 days? Once again, it is 20 past 5 and I'm only just rolling the dice now, and I've actually not read anything today, so we're gonna have to read quite a lot. Let's roll the dice. Okay, I think this might be the lowest we've had. We got 160, so we got 30 and 130, which is obviously 160 pages. However, I don't really know what I want to read. I think I kind of want to, I don't know whether maybe we continue with getting through my TBR, because the other 2 books we read were both on my June TBR, but then there's a book that I'm kind of feeling like I kind of want to read that's not on my TBR. I'll show you the options that I'm thinking of. Also, what makes it even more difficult is they're both very, very different. So the first one is A Requiem for Fallen Stars by Hazel S. Wilkes. This is the first book in the Cadence of the Fallen series. This is a fantasy series, and I did actually pick book 2 up, even though I've not read book 1. But that, I think it only come out like this week. But this is one of the options. And then the other one, like I said, very, very different vibe. We have Taurus Season by Bryn Weaver. This is the first book in the Seasons of Carnage trilogy. Book 2 came out not too long ago. And obviously I really enjoyed the Butch and Blackbird series by them, so I really want to read this. I haven't even spoken about Air of Storms, but I will speak about Air of Storms in just a second. I think after Air of Storms I do want to go into A Requiem for Fallen Stars and just see how I feel about fantasy right now. Let me grab Air of Storms and then we can talk about it. Okay, so I ended up finishing Air of Storms off last night, and I kind of have mixed opinions on this. So did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I enjoy the plot? Yes. Do I think I want to read the second book? No. Like, it's a book that, yes, I enjoyed, but I don't think I really care enough about the characters or the way the plot went or anything like that to continue it. Was it a good book in itself? Yes. Will I be continuing? Probably not. This was a 3-star read, so it, like I said, very much is a good book that I enjoyed and I had a fun time with. I just don't think it's a book that personally I'm invested enough to continue the series. I think I'd rather leave it at this and have this be what it is and not continue the series. But I did enjoy it. I gave it a solid 3 stars. So I think on that note, I think I want to go into another fantasy, which is A Requiem for Fallen Stars, and I've heard really good things. The indie bookstore right near me, I picked this up from there, and I actually ended up going in today to have a little browse, and also because I saw they had this book in, which is A Ballad for the Broken. This is book 2, this has just come out, but she did say while I was in there, she said book 1 can be a little bit slow, but book 2 has put her in a reading slump because it was so good. I think let's read this. Also an indie book up my street. Our main girl's called Lyra. Looks like it seems to like she has quite a rough past, but she doesn't want them to win. So she will not let the sharpened words of men who call themselves nobles and kings cut deeper than they deserve. If they cannot wound her, they cannot control her. If they cannot control her, then freedom is hers to claim despite her feeling anything but free. Ooh. Thrust into the deadly entrance exams of an academy, she has to strike a blood wager with a king that would win Lyra her freedom or the cost of her life if the exams don't kill her first. The world that rejects her forgotten journal that we redefine her, a band of dangerous wielders that hunt her, and then there is him, the one who found her, who must have been nothing more than a mentor, the person to unravel her. But she's not here for love, she's here to win, and as the walls she spent years fortifying begin to fracture as truth after daunting truth break, the world will come to understand a girl who refuses to lose does not break, she erupts. It honestly sounds so good, so let's get reading this. It is now obviously the next day, but I thought I'd give an update on where we got through A Requiem for Fallen Stars last night. So I ended up finding that this was also on Audible, so I did end up grabbing it on Audible because I was like, I needed to get into it a bit, so I did pick up on Audible and I did read my 150 pages yesterday. I actually read over 150 pages yesterday, but like from this morning I'm on page 213. But I'm really, really enjoying this book. I think it's such a good read. This is like, I don't know how to explain it. If you love, I feel like a mixture of books, maybe Fourth Wing in there, but this doesn't have dragons in, but like that kind of vibe with like the going to a school and you have to do trials kind of vibe, as well as like there's like a childhood friend, then there's another MMC, and yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this so far, and I'm really enjoying our characters Lyra, and I'm intrigued to see the way that it continues. So basically the storyline is that she grew up not thinking she had magic until one day it emerges, and then she goes to this school after she makes a bargain with the king basically, and that's how it goes. But I'm really enjoying it so far, and obviously you won't see me finish this book, but I will be finishing this book in the next like couple of days. But I did do 150 pages yesterday, so that does mean that we did complete the full week of Dice Choose Our Pages for a week. So we ended up finishing 2 books and starting another one. So obviously we ended up starting off with The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Owls. This is an ice hockey brother's best friend romance, and I really enjoyed this. It was a 4-star. I thought the plot was alright, and it was a fun ice hockey romance time. Not much more I can say on it, to be honest. And then we read Air of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. Like I said in my last clip, I did enjoy this. However, it's not one that I think I want to pick up the next book in the series for. I enjoyed it enough to finish it, but I don't think I enjoyed it enough. I think this is probably going to be one that I end up unhauling, because this is a stunning edition, and someone that loves this book would probably rather have this edition than me that was indifferent about it. And obviously we did start A Requiem for the Fallen Stars by Hazel S. Wilkes. I'm really enjoying so far, and I'd say about 40% through the book, and I'm enjoying this. But that does mean that is the end of the video. So obviously we read the first book in 2 days, the second book in 2 days, and then obviously we started this one yesterday. So our dice definitely did help me get through some books on my TBR. So 2 were on my June TBR, and then this one is just on my radar for quite a while. But I'm really happy with our reads, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.